Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Glad to be back with you. Today we get to read about another one of our Bible friends. We're already on book 7. There's 2 stories in each book. Today's story is going to be Joash, the boy king. Did you know that a child could be a king or even a queen? Well, this one's going to be about Joash. Don't cry, little Joash, don't cry. Someday you'll be king and wear a crown on your head and sit on a golden throne. But if the wicked queen hears you cry, she will send her soldiers to take you away. And then you won't be king and wear a crown on your head and sit on a golden throne. She's warning him. Shh, shh. Uncle Jehoiada, who was priest of the temple, and Aunt Jehosheba kept baby Joash in the bedroom of their temple rooms. Joash learned to walk, he learned to talk. The wicked queen did not find him. He's cute, huh? The boy Joash grew. Each birthday he stood a little taller beside the bedroom doorpost. In the daytime, the door was always barred shut, lest someone in the temple see him and go tell the wicked queen. In the evening, when the people had gone home, the door was unbarred or unlocked, and Joash could walk with his uncle in the temple court. Look how he is growing. Have any of you been measured by the door frame of your house? One evening, as Joash and Uncle Jehoiada walked together in the temple court, Joash saw a hole in the temple wall. And he saw another hole and another. Why, the temple walls are full of holes. The holes were made by the wicked queen's sons when they tore away parts of the wall to build a temple for their idol. Said Uncle Jehoiada, to repair the holes would cost much money, and there is no money in the temple treasury. Look at those holes. Uncle Jehoiada taught Joash to read the law of God. Joash read, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Honor your father and your mother. You shall not steal." Joash loved to read the law of God. He loved God. Then came the day that Joash was 7 years old. Uncle Jehoiada took him by the hand, led him out to the temple porch, and stood beside him the bronze pillar. Below the porch to one side were singers, and the other trumpeters with silver trumpets. That's a type of horn. Rows of soldiers with spears guarded the porch. Many people were in the temple court. Quietly, they watched and waited. Uncle Jehoiada placed a scroll of the law in Joash's hand and the king's crown upon his head. Then, with the with a horn of sweet-smelling oil, he anointed Joash, king of Judah. To anoint means he poured oil on him, a sweet-smelling oil. That smell would go out and the people would know, and God would even smell that sweet-smelling oil. The trumpeters blew their silver trumpets. The singers sang songs of praise. The people clapped their hands and shouted, "God save the king! God save the king!" And look how little the king is. The wicked queen came running into the temple court. She had heard the trumpeters and the singing. When she saw the boy king standing beside the pillar, she tore her clothes and shouted, "Treason! Treason!" She commanded the soldiers to take the boy away, but the soldiers took her away instead. That's good. The people lined up in a long procession, a long line. Soldiers, singers, and priests, the trumpeters led the way out of the temple gate and down the street to the king's palace. They carried the boy king, Joash. This palace would now be his home. Dun, 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 dun. Would you like to be carried that way? Slowly, Joash walked up the palace aisle. He climbed the steps to the golden throne. The throne was very large, and his feet did not reach the floor, but he sat as straight as a king. Again, the trumpeters blew their trumpets. The singers sang and the people shouted, "God save the king! God save the king!" You see the people out there? And there's the boy sitting on the throne, but his feet can't touch. I remember sitting on a chair and my feet not being able to touch. To be king was a big job for a boy. He would need Uncle Jehoiada's help for many years. King Joash remembered the holes in the temple walls. How could he get money to mend them? He sent men throughout the land to collect coins, but the men spent the coins on their own houses. Look who's here for the story. Sky. The holes in the temple were still there. Then Joash thought of a different plan to raise the money. That was shameful of those men to keep the money that was for the temple. Joash asked Uncle Jehoiada for a chest with a lid. It's like a special box. "Let's put the chest behind the temple gate," he said. The chest was placed beside the gate. "Let us cut a hole in the lid," said Joash. "A hole just large enough for coins to go through." The hole was cut in the lid. Now, when the people came to the temple to worship, they could see the chest and drop coins in the hole in its lid. That was a great idea. Kind of like a giant piggy bank. People came from near and far to see the king's money chest. Boys and girls came, and fathers and mothers, grandfathers and grandmothers. They marched by and dropped coins into the chest. At first, the coins made a clinkety click click sound. When the chest was half filled, clank, clank, clankety. And then when it was almost full, just a clunk. And there they are. They're all coming to drop the money into the chest. so the temple can be repaired. "Bring the chest to the treasury room," said Joash. In the treasury room, his helpers poured the coins into bags. The chest was again placed at the temple gate, and the coins went clinkety clink clink, clackety clack clack, and then clunk. Again and again the chest was filled and emptied into bags in the treasury until there was enough money to repair the holes in the temple walls. Why, he was very wise to think of that plan. Let's see if I skipped a page. Stone cutters cut stones. Carpenters sawed boards. Carefully they worked, for this was God's house. At last the holes in the temple walls were repaired. Now many people came to worship in the temple. They learned to love God as Joash did, their king. God looked down from heaven and was pleased to see the beautiful temple, the worshiping people, and the young king on the golden throne. Because he knew they were honoring him and loving him. And that's what we should do. We should honor God because he deserves it. He has given us everything. In fact, he made us. Can you make a person? I can't either, but God can. And he made you, and he made me. And he loves us so much. So he deserves to be loved. Well, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house and out of your house, in the day and the night, and whatever you do, keep dreaming. And if you haven't yet, please, whoops, my dog's bumping this, back up, Coco. Push that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be able to hear each story. If you know anybody else that would like these stories, please share it with them, or have your mom and dad share it with them. All right. I'll be reading to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.